Okay, so I just released a video on Halloween called the Michael Myers rework debate. Game changer or just a mistake? 8 days later, the next PTB came out for Dead by Daylight and the new killer, the Hellmaster. Now I know that there were rumors swirling around about changes coming to the shape, but I didn't think it would be this fast after my last video. But with that being said, I'm back with a follow-up video to discuss the changes the devs have made to Mikey. The first 5 changes that were made to the shape were made to his base kit. The first change I do like, which was increasing his movement speed while in Evil Within 1 from a 4.2 movement speed to a 4.4 movement speed. It doesn't seem like a big increase, but any increase is a big increase when you're facing a mass maniac like Myers, especially if you add in Boyfriend's memo to increase his lunge by 50%. He was dangerous before with less speed, so now that he has more speed in Tier 1, combined with no tear radius, no red stain, a Tier 2 lunge, the jump scare factor is going to be even more of a relevant threat. The second change was another increase, but this time to the number of stock points per survivor in the trial. It was 10, but is now doubled to 20, so more chances to gain Evil Within from survivors and level up to the next tier even faster, delivering even more carnage more rapidly. Now the third change was a decrease to the amount of required Evil Within to reach Tier 2 to 3. It was previously 5. This, I am not gonna lie, is scary. I already find it fairly quick to reach Evil Within tiers, especially with J. Myers Memorial. Decreasing the amount of Evil Within needed to reach Evil Within 2 is, in my opinion, a good buff if you're going to get Tier 3 and utilize one of Myers' extremely powerful add-ons. But me, I'm the type of Myers player that likes to snatch them off gens or jump scare them and slash them with my weapon. So I think myself and a lot of other players that like to play this way will probably like to stay in Tier 1 longer, especially with the speed increase he's been given. So far, I'm actually liking these changes. The Evil Within gain multiplier when stalking from afar was set at 0.1 and is now increased to a full point. This is a great buff. It matches the killer's character much better. So with this change, Myers can pop out on a survivor, hit them, and with the change to the multiplier, the injured survivor runs away, and the further they get away from Myers, the faster he gains evil from them, which goes into the final change to the shape's base kit, which is decreasing the Evil Within gain multiplier when stalking up close to 0.4. Previously, it was set at 1. I like this because it's not in line with his style. Myers doesn't stalk his prey when he's close enough they can hear his heavy breathing. They probably would just get up and run, making it harder for him to stalk, breaking line of sight any way they could. So if Michael is in close range to a survivor, I think the better move would be to, instead of stalking them, I would rather hit them and then stalk them, creating the same situation as if Michael pops out, hits a survivor, then stalks them as they run away, taking advantage of the increased multiplier when stalking from afar. So he gets a survivor injured and then can go after another survivor and can get more stalk or another hit and then stalk again, or if close enough, pop Tier 3 and just down the closest survivor or survivors. So I gotta say, honestly, I'm actually pretty impressed with these changes to his base kit, but it's going to make Mikey's add-ons even more deadly because he'll be able to utilize them much faster and more often. Basically, they're making them iridescent add-ons, especially if you are pairing it with J. Myers Memorial and gaining Evil Within 25% faster. After this update goes live, get ready for the Michael Myers show like we're back in 2016. I honestly can't wait. Now on to the second part of the shape's changes to 5 of his add-ons. Fragrant Tuft of Hair. Increase the Evil Within 3 requirement to 20, was 10. Lock of Hair. Decrease Evil Within 3 requirement to 50%, was 100%. Judith's Tombstone. Increase the Evil Within 3 requirement to 20, was 10. Tombstone Piece. Increase the Evil Within 3 requirement to 15, was 7.5. Scratch Mirror. Increased Evil Within movement speed to 4.4, was 4.2. This is new. Okay, so even with Fragrant Tuft of Hair, Judith's Tombstone Piece, all having the amount of Evil Within doubled to reach Tier 3, with the change to the multiplier when stalking from afar, Myers is going to be able to reach Tier 3 much easier. I know I'll be pairing each of these add-ons with J. Myers Memorial, having the amount of Evil Within decreased by 50%. All I gotta say is yikes, survivors, you better watch out. But the devs didn't let us Myers mains have all the fun. They knew with the speed increase added to to tier 1, players will be using Scratch Mirror and Boyfriend's Memo as a recipe for causing survivor players heart attacks by the dozen. So they decreased the tier 1 movement speed back to a movement speed of 4.2 when Scratch Mirror is being used. Now this all seems like pretty big buffs, so I don't know how much of it will make it to the next update when it goes live. So some refreshing changes, and it will be interesting to see how each player reacts to them and if their playstyles will change at all. But I have to say, my mind has changed a bit since my last video with these changes. I can already feel the satisfying feeling of being able to play my favorite killer the way he was meant to be. Stalking from afar is what Michael does, and being able to do that more often and get into his most dangerous part of his power, tier 3 more often, is gonna be amazing. Well, those are my thoughts on all the changes to the shape from the PTB so far. They are very powerful and impactful changes. I'm just wondering how many of them will make it by the time the next update comes out. But when it does, I'll be sure to make a video on the differences in my strategy for the shape. I'm actually really excited for these changes, and I'm glad they didn't rework him, changing him entirely. Just before I end the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you know when new content drops. I consider all of these changes buffs. I know there's a lot of Mikey players out there that have been waiting for this for a long time, so I'm looking forward to your comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time here at Creepy Clips.